Changing the way we as communities think about energy is a vital action in response to climate change. Working together to engage all local stakeholders in rural and urban areas is the pathway to achieve sustainable energy communities throughout Roscommon.
So Transition Towns Roscommon is a community-led organisation, a group of people across a whole bunch of different organisations trying to address the big issues that are facing small rural communities as we face into the 21st century. So we're thinking about sustainability, we're thinking about developing relationships that build resilience into place, we're thinking about where we get our food, how we grow our food, where energy comes from, how we find it, how we purchase it, who owns it, and how it's generated. And we're thinking about how to make Roscommon a place where people feel like they have a sense of place and a sense of ownership over their future. So Transition Towns were actually started here in Ireland by Rob Hopkins in Kinsale over 20 years ago, and the movement has now spread around the world with a focus on communities leading the change. So we do a needs assessment of what's happening in the area, and then we try to vision as big as we possibly can to meet the needs of the people in that community and the challenges that they're facing.
The biggest project Roscommon Transition Towns was able to realize so far was the Roscommon Produce Network. It was set up by a few members of our group, and it was a fantastic experience to be part of because I experienced the link between the community and the local producers in a time that was much needed. The program ran mostly through the pandemic, and while observing social distance, people were able to go collect organic local produce and feel like the community was still there, it was still alive. So it was a fantastic, a very successful project.
So well-being in relation to the environment is very much part of our overall vision of things.
We're all dealing with the very real burden and pinch of high energy costs at this time. We're also dealing with the very real crisis of climate, environmental issues. What can we as a local community do about that? We at the Sustainable Energy Community are working with the SEAI to develop an energy master plan. This will assess us as a local community, a very real thumbprint, a profile of us as a community in terms of how we use and how we generate energy. Out of this, we'll be able to understand the opportunities we can take as a community to improve all this. Everything from sustainable transport to the very real, possibly community-generated electricity, sustainable energy, and reduction of CO2 emissions, which are impacting our environment. Also, reduction of costs in terms of energy use as well through more efficient use of energy. If you, as a member of the community, feel very strongly or passionate about these issues, get in touch and we'll get this done together.
We're here in Cloontuskert today, a former Bord na Móna community developed initially in 1952, but today a sustainable energy community and the first community in County Roscommon to launch officially its Energy Master Plan in 2021. We were approached by Bord na Móna in 2019 with a very unique opportunity to be a pilot community to develop an SEC, Sustainable Energy Community, one of two communities selected nationwide for this opportunity. As part of the process, we have held a number of information meetings on grant information surrounding energy upgrades and retrofit work, on information surrounding sustainable energy itself, and as regards the development of our master plan.
I was very happy to work with Cloontuskert on the Energy Master Plan. The Energy Master Plan looks at the energy efficiency of homes and commercial buildings. We did a BER on some homes and also the local school, and from that we're able to advise homeowners on retrofit measures that will make the houses more efficient and also save money. It was great to work on Cloontuskert because Cloontuskert was designed by Frank Gibney in the 50s, and it is really well laid out as a community. It would be really nice to see the homes retrofitted and brought up to a modern standard.
So in terms of the house right behind me, it's our own family home. We decided to privately go ahead and retrofit our home as inspired by the master plan process. So we have super insulated our home with external insulation, improved attic insulation. We have fitted PV panels. We are heating our water and home heating off a heat pump, which utilises renewable energy. So through the Energy Master Plan, we as a community have come to know that sustainable energy is grounded in an all-encompassing model, that it extends not only to our use of energy in homes, but also to use of energy in the community and the needs that we have as a community in terms of our energy use. So this includes examples such as our street lighting, retrofitting to LEDs so that we're more energy efficient in our use of energy, but also installations in the community like what we have in Cloontuskert at our Heritage Sculpture Garden, which points back to our history as a Bord na Móna village, now moving towards the future, looking at sustainable energy, climate action and making sure that we have a bright future ahead.